Okay, everybody, how you doing? Just checking in. It is Wednesday morning. It's 9:04. Just got back from doing a ship. And hey, everybody, how you doing? So I thought I would just get it rolling here, right? Let me get rid of the damn emojis. Just wish they would permanently, once you turn them off, they would just understand and turn them off. Oh no, that'd be too easy. Just a minute, give me a second. Still setting up here. Okay, so now I got the chat up. Hey Corey, how you doing? Little Llama Laura's here. Larry Woods. Oh, Larry. Yeah. Yeah, Larry, did you see that they reported on marine traffic? The Niagara, when it got to the Black River, reported a large dumpster styled object, black, floating on the Canadian side downriver. So hopefully they get somebody out there. Hey, TJ. Okay, let me get the invites. Copy the invite link. Okay, I think we got her now. So if anybody wants to join me, there's the link to join. Happy to have anybody that's available. It's kind of tough to talk to yourself, but usually somebody joins me. Yeah, that ship I did this morning was very interesting. Afterwards, I heard on the radio that it reported a large dumpster style object floating downstream on the Canadian side of the St. Clair River. And he described it to marine traffic as being large, black, and it was not submerged. It was floating on the water. So they were going to do something. Who knows what they're going to do? They probably just report it to traffic. Hey Corey, how you doing? Waypoint New England. Good morning. Good morning. TJ is here, and so is Laura. As you can see, the water is pretty calm this morning. It's cloudy, but there's a little bit of sunshine peeking through here and there. But the water is calm and smooth. There was no wind down there when I flew that ship. If you guys would like, I can I listen to the ships. I have a small handheld marine radio. They're on channel 11 in this area. And I just turn it on, and in fact, I'll show it to you. It really has been a great thing to have. There it is. You notice it's set on channel 11, and it allows me, I can talk to them too. It's like the other day in the darkness, one of the ships was upbound, And so I called the ship as he was going under the bridge. I said, no, I didn't call the ship. They noticed my drone in the air and they turned on all their deck lights, and I called and thanked him. And he thanked me too. So hey Adrian, how you doing? Yeah, it's channel 11, and I don't know because the handheld marine radios, that's a Uniden. You can pick that up online, and it's rechargeable, so you don't have to worry about it. And channel 11 is the channel here that they talk on, and then when they want to talk between ship to ship, they'll say, okay, go to 10, go to channel 9 or whatever. And I can follow them over there. Hey, there is Captain Joe. Larry, I don't know, but let me go over and look. See if I can figure it out for you. Let me go to Amazon. It's called the Uniden.
Adrian's on. Hey, Adrian, my friend.
Uniden handheld radio. Okay, here it is. I'm going to screen share. Here's the one I have right here. $59.99. 2-day delivery. I think that's not the Uniden. Here's the Uniden right here. Right there is the one I have. Uniden, waterproof, handheld, two-way radio. The other ones are non-name brand, but this is the same one. If you notice, it's got squelch, volume, and keypad on the front. And that's the exact same layout. $92.60. It's $12 off on Amazon. Uniden handheld marine radio. Anybody that's interested? I always carry it simply because I like to hear what they're saying to marine traffic or ship to ship and whatever, you know.
I used to have a Uniden that was a police scanner.
Yep. Yep.
And I used to keep that on me when I was doing press work when I first started doing press work. And I remember one night I was in the French Quarter, and they had a fire that I was shooting pictures of, and I'm sitting there on the side of the car with the radio on my side, and this girl comes walking up wanting to know if I want a date. And about the time she gets there, the radio goes off, and you ought to see those high heels running down the street.
Hooker split.
She didn't know what to do.
You're welcome, Larry. Yeah, that's what we do here is we try to help each other. Adrian, how you doing? Yeah, what you do is you find out what frequency. I don't know where you are, Larry. If you're up in this area, channel 11 is the frequency because marine traffic here in our area is all handled out of Sarnia, Ontario.
We had another incident a few years later, because when I met my wife, she lived out in New Orleans East, which wasn't a really great neighborhood. and I was coming home about 2 o'clock in the morning and got a flat tire. So I pulled over and I'm changing my tire, and these Cracker Jacks pulled up in front of me and stopped there and looked at me. Now I'm saying, here we go. Because I got my gun on me and everything. And I got the radio sitting right there in the car. And the radio's on. And they step out the car and they start walking back. Hey man, you need some help? Like that. And the radio went off. They got back in their car and left.
Well, yeah, that's because, you know, the criminals are out there, but most of them aren't stupid unless they're high on crack or something. But if they're aware of their surroundings at all, and all of a sudden the police radio cracks off, it's like, oh my. Good morning, Lance.
Yeah, because I had my hand on my gun and they were running. So,
yeah.
Lance, go.
Who's that roughing at you?
That's Tino. They got him working.
Oh.
He's trying to beg for food and stuff. Go eat your dish. Actually, let me go make sure they got food in that dish.
Okay. Larry, you have a good day. Yeah, I shot down this morning. I got up and I saw that ship coming downbound, and I thought, man, I better go, because right now there's not a lot of ship traffic going on. So you got to get it while the getting's good. Just so anybody wants to know, there's the ship that went through Port Huron about 20-30 minutes ago. It's downbound and it's headed for Detroit. I think it probably is hauling salt, but I could be wrong. But as you can see, not a lot of traffic going on. There's one headed for Goderich. Over in Lake Michigan. And of course, the locks up here are closed for maintenance, so there's nothing going on here. So it's a choke point. They cannot leave Duluth. They're pretty much there until about March the 15th and 20th, somewhere in that area. And the other choke point they have is right here, where the locks are closed for maintenance, and they cannot go up through here at all. So, did they have food there, Joe? And the other choke point they have is right here.
Oh.
TJ, you got to turn off your.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, all right.
Didn't have food in that dish.
Is my hair looking okay this morning?
You got the typical hair flathead. Yeah. It's like you got up and somebody walloped you right on the top of your head.
Yeah. Good boy. Yo, Max, hey, what's up?
Did an Nevada run over the top of your head, TJ?
Yeah, I think it had a mind of its own and just flew over my head this morning while I was sleeping. And then it put itself back in its case. What's up, Frank?
Well, that's a good thing, TJ.
Yeah.
If you've got a self-healing drone, that's great. Yeah.
Yeah. My Avada loves me.
Are you sure?
Oh, I hope so.
Speaking of which,
do you tuck it in at night and talk to it, or what?
Yeah, we're like, good little drone, good little drone.
There you go.
my precious.
My
That makes a
precious.
difference, yeah.
And speaking of which, I charged 2 batteries up last night.
Oh, there
did
you
you?
go.
I'm going to fly with Johnny in about an hour and a half.
Oh, nice. Oh yeah. Are you coming down for the South Florida drone meetup?
75-25, no.
Oh,
And it's become a money issue more than
yeah.
it's become a time issue.
Gotcha.
You gotta make the money when you can make the money, right?
Oh yeah, and I'm not making the money. That's the problem.
So
I'm not making
your fund cash fund is going down.
my extra fund cash fund has went down.
I know how that feeling is.
So I gotta just be
Crazy.
careful the next couple of months. Because come July, I got about a $10,000 influx.
Uh,
But I gotta get to July.
is that when you figure you're gonna get your settlement or what?
I'm hoping I get the settlement by April.
Well, hopefully it'll be a good decent amount and you can go buy some more drones or whatever. I don't know.
Now, Joe, did you use an attorney to help you with that, or did you doing it on your own?
He has an attorney doing it.
Okay.
Yeah, he gets 40%. But you know, when you're talking life-changing numbers, 40% don't mean a thing.
No, but the sad part is most of the attorneys that I've dealt with, I can't remember last time I had a suit of any kind at all. It didn't cost me a dime for the attorney. What the attorney did was they turned around and billed whoever for their time
Yeah.
to bring the lawsuit, and it didn't come out of my funds at all.
Well, they either do that or they take the money out of your winnings if you win.
Yeah.
But they only do those kind of cases if they are 100% they're going to win.
Hey,
I hope that
Justin,
means he's
how's it
100%.
Well, like slip and fall cases, stuff like that, that's almost 100% guaranteed you're going to get a payout. So lawyers will take those pretty much on pro bono till you win. Then they'll take the money out of either your winnings or, like Paul said, they'll charge the other people for it.
Well, I'm gonna sit down this week actually next week with Major Love. He's a retired major that his daughter used to shoot for broadcast team. So his daughter's absolutely in love with me, like I'm a second dad, you know.
That's good.
And it's like he got me the other night and he said, "When are you coming sit down with me?" And I said, "I'm gonna have to do that." He wants me to sit down because of my 2 replacements in knees, because of the heart issues, because of the Campbell-June issues, because of the neuropathy and all of the little issues that I've got, the ringing in the ears from the Marine Corps and all of that. He says, "Let me file your paperwork," because he does that with people. He says, "I can get you 100%.
Oh, good.
And he said, "You would like $3,700 a month extra, right?"
Is that what
So
usually the settlement is? They just tack it on to your regular
No,
month?
that's completely different.
Oh, okay.
That's VA going through the VA for medical injuries during Marine Corps or during service. And if you have knee replacements, he says your knee replacements, one of them's 25%. The other one gives you 50% because you've had knee replacements and your knees are attributed to all the running and stuff you did in the Corps. So he said that will get you 50%, 1,700 automatic. He said, but you got to fill the paperwork out and you got to know how to do it.
It's not one lump sum that you get a monthly payout.
Well,
every month for the rest of your life.
Tax-free a month. Yep.
Well, that's a separate issue, right, Joe? You got the 2 issues, right?
That's completely separate.
That's injury to him due to his military service, where the other one was in a water situation. They put together a fund to
Yeah.
give money to everybody that was at Camp Lejeune, right?
And they didn't do it as a joint, like a joint lawsuit. It's individual.
Yeah.
You're able to go in individually because of the money involved. Now, what they are doing right now is you can go in and file the paperwork and get like $150,000 just automatic. You know, because they're going to give you up. I think it's up to $500,000. That depending on how long you were there, they'll write you a check and then you waive everything else off. I'm not waiving everything off. I'm going through the lawsuit side because that $500,000 is like a drop in the bucket. You know, it's just
Now
but
you
they're
have
trying to settle
you
these
have an
things.
attorney that's handling that.
Oh yeah,
Okay, so
he's got all of that.
You're working with two different attorneys then.
Well, I'm working with one attorney. Major Love he's just a retired major, but he works with all the veterans around here.
Okay, so he's just a brother, and it's going to help you.
Yeah. Well, and he's been after me for about a year to do this. So I could have done this a year ago. Just.
Well, yeah, especially if it's just increasing your benefit package.
Yeah.
They're money ahead because you didn't do it a year ago, because they don't have to pay it out.
Right. So I'm just waiting. It's like, hey, I'm not even anxious about it. I know it's going to happen. It'll be when everything falls into place.
Hey, TJ, are you on disability?
No, I'm working obviously, so like I'm not on any kind of.
Well, the question I has is your injury was when you fell out of that tree, right?
Yeah, like I had a customer yesterday come to me with I was talking to her about like my injuries or whatever, and she was telling me about some kind of therapy like prolotherapy or whatever like that, and it's like I guess like injections that they give you or whatever. I'm thinking
Well, the
about
other thing too, TJ, did you ever go to an attorney for your injuries?
I think so. It was a long time ago. I can't remember.
Well, injuries are not time sensitive. You could go and call some of the big attorneys and say, "Hey, do I have something here? Because I haven't done it. I don't know about it. It has affected my life, and I'm only, 30 years old or whatever." And they'll say, "Yeah, we'll take that case," and they won't charge you unless they get the money.
Yeah. I'll have to.
Because
I'll have to ask.
wouldn't a $500,000 settlement be worth it to you?
Yeah.
Well, it all depends. Did TJ get a payout from the insurance company already? That's the thing. If he did, then that's pretty much over at that point.
Well, it is if he signed a what is it? Non-aggressive or something like that. But an attorney could probably find additional money for him. It isn't all come out of eggs out of one basket.
If he goes on disability, though, he'd be filing for Social Security early, is what it would be. You have to go on Social Security. It's the same as if you have a kid that has a mental disability, you can sign up for Social Security and get money every month.
Well, it wouldn't hurt you, TJ, to call an attorney, find a good high-powered attorney that handles injuries and tell them the story. They'll say yay or nay.
Yeah. I don't know. I'll have to ask about that. I vaguely remember.
Well, there's a difference. Pro bono means that they're going to take the case for free, not charge you anything. But if there's lawyers that will take your case up front without charging you anything because they know they're going to win.
Yes, exactly. And that's what you're looking for. You're looking for an attorney that'll take your case, and if you win, you're gonna both get money.
Yeah, like I said, I'll have to ask because I don't know. Like my mom pretty much like took care of everything, and I was kind of like
out
with
of it
all,
at the time.
yeah, wasn't
Well,
really
the
like,
thing of it is that your actual injury, you didn't recover like a broken bone or just fix your arm or whatever.
yeah,
It's screwed up with your head as well. That's why I say I'd call an attorney and find out if there's anything there.
What's
yeah,
up, Jody? Well, you got a payout from the insurance company, I'm assuming, right? From your, because you worked for your dad's company, right?
yeah,
Which you guys would have been in. I'm assuming as his business was 100% legit, he would have had insurance. So you would have ended up suing your dad's insurance company.
yeah. I think I did end up doing that because I was collecting workman's comp for a little while.
That workman's comp is different.
Yeah.
TJ, it'd be worth it to make a phone call. That's all I'm saying.
All right. Yeah, I'll have to ask about that because like I said, I didn't take care of it. My mom pretty much, and I was just not all there.
Well, like I said, at your age, in order to go on disability, you'd pretty much be going through Social Security, which you would definitely need a lawyer at your age to file for that because it's not something that's easy to do. I mean, it's hard enough for people Paul and Joe's age to file for it and get the money that they want or that they deserve out of Social Security, let alone somebody that's underage. Like kids, like I said, usually kids that have a like a
Talking about my age again.
well, it's the truth though. Social Security is a bitch. So I know a lot of older people that
Well,
filed for
I beat
2 or
Social
3
Security
times.
5 years ago.
Well,
Yeah,
what I'm
5
saying
years
is I
ago I
know,
had when I got hurt.
yeah, I know 2 or 3
But it,
people that filed for it at your guys' age that got denied 2 or 3 times trying to get it,
yeah, I got
or they
denied
didn't
the
get
first
them.
time.
Yeah, that's why there's so many Social Security lawyers out there because of that. Plus,
Yeah,
sometimes they don't give you the full amount that you're deserved either.
my Social Security lawyer used to work for the Social Security. She came down from Shreveport. She was assigned, actually Pizza Hut paid for her because it was all done through Pizza Hut. And she came down, met me down here. She told me I had an appointment on a Wednesday. She said, "Do not take your fluid pills from Sunday on. Let the fluid build up in your legs like that." Went in there, my legs were swollen. I had about maybe 10 pounds of fluid. They looked at me. I was in short pants with socks that were tight, that you could see the
What's up,
fluid in my
Dave?
legs. And that's what she did. She brought up the fact that I was taking medication that would make me go to the bathroom and all of this stuff and all of this, and made the guy that was trying to make me go back to work tell me, "Yep, he probably couldn't keep a job if he's taking all those meds." And when he said that, I won.
Yeah, because that's what people do with kids that have like really bad. Like I think the rule is they have to have the condition for a year or longer, and it has to be like medically, tracked by doctors and everything for at least a year or longer. But that's what they end up doing. They put their literally they file for their kids' Social Security. They get a
Yeah.
check from that every month.
Because I got the high end of the disabled side because of the injury, and they were able to give me a little bit higher than I would have made. It wasn't much, like maybe $100 more than I
Yeah,
would
but
have
think
made.
about that. If you didn't have a lawyer, you probably would have never got none of that.
I probably would have never got it, and it didn't cost me anything. It was all done with the policies I had through Pizza Hut and their insurance and all of that because I was still a GM with them. And they were trying to get rid of me too because they knew I got hurt there, so they were settling with me, and then they were trying to make sure that I got Social Security to cover it afterwards. Because it's kind of funny because the area coach Melissa, she couldn't talk to me during the whole thing because of the court case because we had a lawsuit on them. But she, like the other day, she wished me a happy birthday. Every time I see her, she hugs me. She says, "You want to come back?" She wants me back. Because she said it wasn't your fault. You slipped at work. but she knew I had one of the in the United States of America, my store was rated number 32. I
Yeah,
had the
one of the
number one in the
manager,
region.
Sarah and my sister were really good friends with the store manager in North Carolina, and he was a pretty highly rated store manager throughout the company. He actually went around the country and did a lot of stuff for Pizza Hut. He was
Yeah.
always actually gone from the store quite a bit. He passed away probably 4 or 5 years ago.
Well, I was about to
Um,
move up to an area coach. That would have been a lot. I was making just at the restaurant 65,000 a year plus bonuses. And my bonuses every month were averaging between $3,000 and $5,000. It got to the point where they didn't even come visit my store because when they'd go around and all the dignitaries would come in to go see all the different stores, they go look at other stores. They wouldn't come with mine because they were actually coming to see if they could help the store. Every once in a while, they pop in just to say, "Hey, man, congratulations, thank you for all this." Look at the store real quick and tell everybody, this guy's teaching y'all the right things, and or they bring another manager in and say, "This is the way it needs to run," you know. But I never had the hassle of anybody. And Melissa would come in, the area coach, and if she started getting in the way, it was funny. If she started getting in the way, because people hated her, because she was like a bulldog. She'd get behind you and she'd push you and push you and push you. And when I see her start doing that, I'd walk over, put my hands on her shoulders and say, "Time to go, Melissa. You got to go."
Yeah.
Just like that. And she'd start laughing. She goes, "Okay, y'all take care. I'll see y'all." And she'd leave. But she told me that one day because one of my managers quit when she started harassing him. And I got all over her about it. And she told me, she says, "Next time, Joe, next time you see me doing that, just make me leave." Yeah. So that's what she
that would
does.
have been
Time to go.
that would have been equivalent to a district manager then.
Yeah, she was like a district manager. I
No,
walk
the
up to her and I
job
say,
you
"It's
were
time,
gonna
time."
get.
I was going up to a
Uh,
district manager like she was. Like
Okay,
she
that's
is.
what I was saying. And that's what your position would have been pretty much. You'd have been over so many stores.
Yeah, because she switched to a different region, and the guy that took over her store, this guy was so laid back, and he was leaving, so they were going to move me up to his position, and I would have had 4 stores, you know, and that would have brought me up to about 100,000 plus still bonuses on each store. And as long as they ran them the way I ran them, I made big bucks.
It's about what
But I was doing
well,
60 hours a week, you know.
that's what a Walmart store manager, they average between 100 and 150,000 a year with bonuses. The
Yes,
district managers, they make tons of money because they're over like 10 different stores.
yeah,
They make
TJ's gonna like
shit
this one.
tons.
Yeah, TJ's gonna like this. $65,000 in bonuses and all the wings you can eat.
Oh wow, that's pretty awesome. I love wings.
All the
Heck yeah,
wings
that's
and pizza
awesome.
you can eat.
That's awesome.
And you know the funny part about it? I actually lost weight there.
Oh, just from eating wings?
Well, I'd get the traditional wings that didn't have the batter or anything. And when I'd get there in the morning, set up the store and get everything done. And if we had the wing street, if we had to replenish it and set it all up, you bagged everything up by 8 wings. And then you go through the thing, and if there was like 4 wings left, those 4 wings, instead of me opening another bag or putting that little 4 wings in the back, or 6 wings. A lot of times it was 6 wings. I just chunk them into the fryer, fry them up to make sure because we had to test them anyway, to make sure
Oh
the
yeah.
fryer was working right and everything. So I'd fry them up in the tester, and we had an aluminum bag that
Aluminum.
was
Aluminum.
it was a that was a like a heat transfer bag that we could put them in to go. And I used to throw the wings in there when they came out of the fryer hot, and then stick them down in my apron. And I'd forget about them in my apron. And an hour later, they'd still be hot, you know?
Oh,
So
there you
I'd
go.
pick on them all day. I'd pick on wings. And then when I was back making pizzas in the back, if instead of eating pizza, I might eat some of the fresh fruit, like the green peppers or the mushrooms. I'd be eating the
Yeah.
vegetables like that. So that's what I did all day. I picked on things. So I never really wanted to eat.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of felt full like after you like pick on stuff. That's like walking through Costco or Sam's Club, you know, because they have like all the samples and stuff. So you just
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
walk around through there and just eat stuff.
Oh, sample days.
Now my
Awesome.
my downfall was on Tuesdays, pasta Tuesdays, because we got everything that I purchased in there, I got for half price. So pasta Tuesdays, it was $10 for the pasta, the dish of pasta, and
Yeah,
you got two of them. They gave you two of them for $10.
well,
Cost me
that's not
$5,
bad.
you know. So I'd grab two of them, bring them home to the kids, and the kids would have pasta, or I'd bring home a pizza, you know, for like $5. You know, it's like, and the pizza wasn't the kind of that Pizza Hut put out. It was the way I made it, you know.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, speaking
So
of
I
pizza,
put a little bit extra stuff on it,
I think I'm down to
so I
like
could be loaded down.
two of those pizzas that I got from work left.
And Sarah worked at Pizza Hut when we first met years ago. She used to bring pizza. It got to the point where I was so sick of pizza. It was like every other day she was bringing pizza home, and it got old really quick after about 6 months of pizza. It was like, yeah.
Well, what you need to do is get one of the kids to work on a taco truck, and then you'd be happy.
Oh no, then I'd just get tired of that after a
You
while.
you eat burritos, tacos, and churritos.
Churritos.
I stopped last night at La Coretta's. It's a Mexican restaurant here.
Yeah.
After the game, I called them with a minute left in the game and ordered a taco salad with ground beef. It's usually $9. That's what it costs. $9. I picked that joke up. It was $14. I
Wow.
know that I went to Taco Bell. I came home, ate it, and then my stomach got all upset. It was like,
Yeah,
you got to be
crazy.
kidding me. I'm not going back there anymore.
Yeah, I like all that stuff too, but sometimes like when you eat the same thing like every day, it's like shit. I need something else.
Well, let me change the subject real quick. Last night at the girls' basketball game, I
Oh,
got
how'd that
senior
go?
night to shoot pictures of. Well, I get there. I stopped at the post office, mailed everything. I get there at 20 minutes to 6, because we usually start everything around 6. I mean, quarter to 6. They're already halfway through the ceremony with all the seniors. I didn't take a senior picture. They were taking it. So I said, y'all got it. Don't worry about it. And she said, I should have told you 5:30. I said, no, it's all right. I'm good. You know, you able to get the pictures you need, because one of the coaches did. I shot the big picture with all the coaches in it. I made him go get in. I said, you want to get in and go. So then I shot that picture for him, and I shot the game. But
You do it with a
no,
camera, or you do it with like one of your small drones, or
I do it with
Indoors.
camera
uh,
indoors. So last night they got the Benoit girls. Hannah is a senior. Alana is a sophomore. Her sister is got one more year in junior high. Her brother plays. I think he's a sophomore, but he might be a junior this year. And then they got a younger brother that is not in junior high yet.
uh,
The younger brother is the best one of all of them. I'm gonna just tell you that much. The little girl is probably better than the rest of them, except for the little brother, because they compete against each other the whole time. The brother is pretty good, but not as good as the girls, the other brother. But Hannah this year, in her 4 years, went over 1,000 points. She did this about 3 weeks ago. She went over 1,000 points. Last night, Alana hit 1,000 points in her second year. So she's a sophomore, and she hit 1,000 points last night. That's how good she is. She's
Yeah.
going to hit 2,000 points easy. You know, she's going to be at a 2,000 point club. She may outscore Callie, that used to live down the street from us. That is the highest scorer ever for the
Is that
school.
1,000 points
I
in
think
one season?
that's 500 points a season.
Is that 1,000 points in one season?
No, that was 2 seasons.
Okay. So she's scoring like 500 points a season.
And I think she scored like 300 the first year and 700 the second year.
Okay.
She
And what,
is
30
freaking
games?
crazy awesome.
Hey, Joe. Max wants to
30
know if you
games.
got a chicken wing in your pocket right now.
Man, look, maybe no. I did, Max, you're gonna laugh. My daughter and when my kids were growing up, I came home with the pizza and we put it up on the counter for them to start getting it and everything. And we're all standing there. My daughter reaches over to get the pizza, and I reached in my pocket and realized I had chicken wings in there. And I pulled
Oh,
out. I said, "Anybody
God.
want a chicken wing?" I said, "Anybody want a chicken wing?" And she still remembers that to this day. And every time
What did
she
you do?
would
Just
be
like
somewhere,
just like shove it in there in your pocket and you like forgot about
yeah,
it or
it was in that
something?
little bag. Like I said, it was in the bag. And I
Oh.
pulled the bag out.
Oh,
And now we'll be eating.
he didn't stick a chicken wing in there bare. No, no.
No.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought. I was like, wait,
Yeah, I just
what?
reach into the bag and grab it out the bag and eat it and throw the thing away. But my daughter, to this day, will be somewhere and she says, "Anybody want a chicken wing?"
Oh, Dave got
She
himself
loves
a
that.
computer.
When
Nice.
we was living in South Carolina at the time, my mom and her husband, when he was alive, they had I think it was like a Super Bowl party or whatever at their house one day, and there was this guy, and they had chicken wings, and there was this
Yep.
guy there that they had told me about, and he was like just sitting there like eating the chicken wings and just putting the bones like right under like without a plate or like anything, like just he was just shoving them like right underneath like the chair or whatever, wherever he was sitting, just putting them underneath there like
It was
like
Air 2S, Lance.
like nobody's seen him.
Look, TJ. Look, Lance. Look, Justin.
Oh, okay, there you go.
Everything got shipped.
Oh, yeah,
Everything got
he's
shipped
showing
yesterday.
us a receipt from 6 months ago. Nice.
Damn.
He's like, look at the date, you son of a bitch.
Somebody took his camera off the screen.
2/6/2023.
shipped yesterday. There you go.
It's Air 2S, Lance, that Paul had. Don't expect him to
That's
read
what
the
made.
chat.
That's what made me late to the senior night. I stopped at the post office first.
What do they do there?
Early bird special.
But see, a senior night, they were just giving out all the awards to the seniors,
There you go. That's cool.
and then they played the game, and the seniors started, and I missed the shot. Boy, they need to tell me what they're doing. They had one senior that's been out with a knee injury the whole year, and when they got up to do the jump, I'm sitting there to take the jump, and all of a sudden the ball's thrown up, and I thought they were playing around. They tapped the ball. The other team didn't even move. They tapped the ball to Hannah. Hannah throws it all the way down to I can't remember what the girl's name is, but all the way down to her. She's standing by the goal. She does a layup. That's only 2 points of the season. Then she walked off because she can't play yet. And I didn't know they were doing that, so I didn't take a picture. I told them, I said, "Y'all gotta let me know this shit, you know." I'd have taken a picture of her only points of the year.
And what do you mean you need to find a sphere to fit on the drone, Lance?
So, the Instasphere that fits on the side of the drone,
The 360.
the 360, I want to, the only reason I got the Air 2S and I got a great deal on it, was to put the sphere on it so I can get shots that not a lot of people can get. Unless you have the sphere.
Well, Lance, you didn't have an Air 2S before?
I did not. I've never had an
Well,
Air 2S.
all I'm gonna do is tell you this. That may wind up being your go-to drone.
Why would it be over my Mavic 3?
Well, my Mavic 3, I love it, but that
Oh,
Air
why'd you
2S
buy an Air 2S if you have a Mavic 3?
for the 360?
Yeah, well, why can't the Mavic 3 do it? Isn't that bigger?
Because
It
they don't
doesn't
make
fit.
one.
They don't have the attachment.
Yeah,
They
don't make
you
one.
bought it
the
just
attachment.
because they have the attachment for it. Okay.
Yeah. The Air
Okay, I
2S
got you.
and the Air 2 have the attachment. I've been begging them to make it for the Mavic 3. And I'm tired
Yeah.
of waiting, I guess.
Yeah,
Okay,
I love my
got you.
Mavic 3. Yeah, I love my Mavic 3, and that is actually my go-to. But I'll grab the Air 2S and fly it. I just love the way it flies.
You know, you
And
think they
the
would
camera is so good.
You think they would build one of those tripods, screw mounts, little where you would screw in a mount on a tripod? You think they would put
Yeah.
that on the bottom and top of the drones and where you could screw stuff into it?
Really?
like different
Yeah.
mounts and stuff.
Yeah.
Like put one
I
on
can
the
3D
top of the
print
drone
one.
and one on the bottom.
So Justin,
Well, I'm saying,
on this
hold
one,
on, I'll show
Justin,
you.
the
Hold on a second.
the 360 sits on the side. So here's the drone. 360
Yeah.
sits on the side, and it's able to get everything without getting the drone in it. The drone disappears. So even if you had one on top, because I have one that fits on top of my Mavic 2, but then you see the drone underneath, and I don't
Well,
want that.
what I'm talking about is you think that they would put one of these in the top and bottom of the drone. That way you could, right in the center and the top and the bottom. That way you could actually screw a mount in. It would make sense. I mean, to have one of those in the top and bottom of the drone.
Agreed. But you would need so you're saying then screw a 360 on top.
Right, if you wanted to, or because I mean DJI has the mounts or different stuff that they make that you can put on the drones, but it's all straps. Like you have to strap it around the drone. It's
Yeah.
like just build a standard tripod mount inside the drone. That way you could, because those are universal. Pretty much all mounts use the same size.
And I don't know if have you seen the InstaSphere? Have you been to that website? How it
No, I
counts
haven't
on
seen
the
it.
side of the drone. So
I
that
actually
one
bought one and
that
sent
one
it back.
allows you for the drone to be invisible. Where I have one, and I agree, if DJI would put a quarter 20 on top, but they don't, so I have to snap something on top, and then I screw my 360 on top. But then what
Right.
happens
Okay. So
is
it's called a quarter
I see
20.
the
Okay.
drone, I see the drone underneath, and I don't want to see the drone underneath. That's why I bought the Air 2S.
Yeah.
So it fits here, and I'm not going to see the drone now. So it'll
Right.
be,
I get
I'll
what
be
you're
able
saying.
to edit it much better than I can with the.
So that's
with
what
my
that's called, a quarter 20.
It's called a quarter 20.
Yeah, to me, because like I said, I've seen so many people like mount stuff to these drones, and like you said, they had to strap it onto the drone or something and then screw a mount in. It's like, why not just have that already on there?
Yeah.
So you could one on the top, one on the bottom of the drone would be kind of a neat idea. Because then you
Totally
could
agree.
hang a camera right from the bottom of the drone.
Yeah, and
little
I would rather
360
hang it from the
cameras.
bottom, but then the sensors get in the way. Would be my I would be scared that I couldn't land it then. Like there's a guy there's a lot of people that strap it underneath. Again, you're going to see the drone above, but you won't see it. I'd rather do it underneath than above if it was me.
Oh, that's
but-
when you offer like extra long extensions for the legs.
And then what happens with the
Oh, I mean, if it's centered and hanging or centered and on the top, the center of gravity should be okay. Unless it was
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
an
but
over. Well, I mean, a
Look at-
lot of the 360 cameras aren't very big. So, I mean, that shouldn't throw the drone off that much, especially a drone that size.
I mean,
Like, you
want it
see
to
how
be,
the Avata was.
you want it to be
you know.
steady in there, right? You don't want the
Right,
camera.
but
And
like as small as the Avata is, you saw how when Lance would hover, it would be all over
Hear
the
the
place.
noise
But the
again?
minute he added more power to the motors, it would straighten up because then it had enough power to stay steady. Those bigger drones like the Air 3, the Air 2S, the Mavic 3, those drones are plenty big enough. They shouldn't be really affected by something like that.
Yeah, agreed.
Usually, plus the legs are a lot wider on those, so they have better balance. Where the Avata's kind of all compacted.
Sit. Oh, you gotta sit. Oh,
Are you talking to TJ?
I was just.
No, what Joe said, sit. Down, boy, down,
She's-
boy, sit.
she's hearing that noise upstairs again, so she come to me.
That's funny.
No, Lance, I bought the 360 about a year and a half ago. It went on sale, and it went on sale for like 4 something or 3 something, and I jumped on it, and a couple of days later they said the shipment was delayed, so I just canceled it. So I never did buy it.
It seems
Okay,
like a
yeah,
lot of people. Oh, go ahead.
It's 420 right now, $420
Yeah.
dollars to get it.
Yeah, it might have been like $3.99, I think, at the time. Then I said, you know what? I don't need to be spending $3.99 for this, so I just canceled it. You know, because it was
To
going to
be
be delayed.
honest, Joe, I've seen a lot of people buy the 360 cameras over the last couple of years, and then they don't end up
Mhm.
really using them very much. They'll
Well, that's
do
what
a
I
few
was thinking
shots.
about.
Yeah, see, like Lance, for Lance, it makes sense because he runs he works with photography with kids and stuff. So that's something he could consistently use to show them how to do stuff and different things like that. But for the average person, I've noticed they'll go out and buy it. They'll do a few videos with it and then they get bored with it. And then it goes in a closet or sits on a shelf and then they hardly ever use it again.
I got you.
Yeah. Well, guys, hey, I have a meeting I have to go to, but
Okay.
I thought I'd drop in and say hi.
Okay, Lance, you
All
take
right.
care. Have a good day.
Later,
Um,
Lance.
See you later,
I'm
Lance.
gonna bounce off too. I got an errand I have to run. So.
Well, hey,
Later, TJ.
hey,
Uh,
just listen to Joe. Don't be bouncing. Just get up and go. Do what you got.
just get up and go.
Because otherwise,
Whose
I have
father?
this picture of you.
There we go.
Bouncing
There you
all
go.
around.
There
Yep.
All right, we'll see you guys later. Have a great morning.
Okay.
Later.
Later, TJ.
Later.
Oh, look at you got your little pupper dog.
Yeah, they're working on that roof, that floor up front.
Now, which dog is that?
This is Cleopatra.
Cleopatra.
Yeah, Cleo's the girl. The brown one in the picture up there in the
Oh,
back
shit.
is Tina. And then the
Hit
white
the
one in
wrong
the
button.
picture in the back is Loki.
Ah.
That's
Up there
that's
on the wall.
Cleo.
Now,
You
how
have
old is
3 dogs?
I got 3. Yeah, Loki
Holy
is
shit.
9, Tino's 8, and she's 7.
And what model are they? What breed?
This is a Pomeranian Chihuahua. Loki, the white one, is a full Pomeranian, and Tino is a Pomeranian Maltese.
Okay.
They let you have 3 dogs in the apartment? That's crazy. I
We're supposed to
wouldn't
have
think they
2.
would have. Yeah, I was gonna say because a lot of apartments usually have like a limit,
You know what I told them?
but they don't.
I said all 3 of them together count as 1. They're all small. Leave me
Well,
alone.
plus you've been there for like 6-7 years, so that they're not gonna. Or how
16
long?
years.
Yeah, 16 years.
16.
They're not gonna find a better tenant than that. So
Leave me
I
alone.
would.
you know?
Yeah, I wouldn't screw with you if I was the landlord. If you've
Yeah,
been
I'm
paying
after
on
them right
time
now.
for 16 years,
I've never missed a payment. You know, I actually missed a payment. I got to be alive. I forgot. One day I forgot. I
You'd be
woke up the 4th and I said, "Oh shit!" I walked down there.
damn, you'd
And
have
they
been
do it
halfway
too.
through a 30-year mortgage already.
Oh yeah, I had a 20-year mortgage. I'll be almost finished. But but the worst part about it was I went down there and I said, Courtney, I forgot to pay you yesterday. She started laughing. She goes, I said, "You're gonna waive the fee because they got a late fee, 10%." Like this. She goes, "I can't waive it. Let me call corporate." She called corporate and she said, "He's never missed a payment." They said, "Don't worry about it. Just take the payment." But it was like
$10%?
$129 fee,
Late fee.
10%
Jesus
after
Christ.
4 days. Yeah, because I get paid on the 3rd, so they get paid on the 3rd, and that's what they needed by, you know. But I completely forgot about it that day. I don't know what it was, but I got a reminder of 3 different places now telling me pay your rent. You know.
My old apartment, I think it was $50 if you were
Yeah, it used to be that
and
way,
you
but
had
people were abusing it every
5.
month.
I think you had like 4 or 5 days, and then you would get a $50 charge. So you got almost a week to pay it.
Well, they
And they
did
didn't
it on
count
the
the
4th day.
weekends. Yeah, they didn't count the weekends. They counted all business days. So
They get those kisses. And when she starts panting like that, she's nervous.
I had an
Oh,
apartment
look at that.
for about a year here, and we moved out because they were just fucking stupid there, man. I go to them and I tell them there's squirrels in the ceiling. I can hear them in there scratching and running around. I can hear them squeaking.
Oh yeah.
And right outside the balcony, outside of our apartment, there was a big ass hole in the roof in the siding where they were running in and out. I was watching them go in and out. So I called the front desk and I tell them, I said, you guys got squirrels running in and out of the ceiling. I said, up at the arch of the roof on the apartment complex, I said, there's a big ass hole in the side that's about, I don't know, probably about that big. And I was like, they're running in and out of it. And her response was, well, what do you want us to do about it? What?
Put a piece of screen on it.
What the hell you want us to do about it? Get up there and get
Yeah,
the
that was
damn
happening
squirrels
here
out
too.
of there.
Yeah, I'd be laying there at night and I'd hear stuff scratching on the ceiling. And we didn't know
Yeah.
it was rats or squirrels because because of the water around here, they have rats. And we don't see them because they've got so many rat traps around. So they get caught in the traps all the time. It's the ones that walk in and they can't get out, like hotel things. So they change those out about once a month. And the guy told me, he says, yeah, we always have 2 or 3 in there. He said, but it's just all the area. But we don't see, I've never seen a rat, that's the thing. But you'll see rabbits running around all the time over here. But
Well, if you have a good,
I told him, I told him to come look at the outside because we had one little spot that had a hole where they were getting in and they were coming in off the tree. So they came out and they put some stuff in the attic to kill them and to make them eat it and leave because they go for water then. And it still kept on happening. And when the guy came out and they were trimming the trees, I hollered at the guy and said, cut these branches right here. And he cut those branches and I've never heard him again. Because the branches were the excess that were getting to it.
oh, they were the ones that pissed, and then they pissed me off because the blind in my room was already kind of broken when we moved in.
Yeah.
And it finally broke the rest of the way and it wouldn't go down at all. And so I put a fucking blanket up in the window because the sun would come right through that window in the afternoon time and just fucking heat up the room. And then they had the nerve to come by after I called in the blind 2 days before that, told them I needed them to come replace it. They had the nerve to knock on my door and wanted to charge me $20 for a fee because I had a blanket in the window. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? I said, I called you guys 2 days ago about this blind and put a work order in for it. I said, how long does it take to go get a blind? You tell me you guys don't have 100 blinds sitting in some storage shed somewhere on the property for replacing these blinds? You can't go over to Home Depot and get a damn blind like this. It was just one of the basic little white thin blinds. One of the
we're down to
then.
2 maintenance men here for 220 apartments. And
up,
these
Dan?
aren't the good maintenance guys, 220. And these aren't the good guys. And my middle toilet, it will flush, but what happens is the whatever they call it, the float, that inside, that water comes through, it's trickling through. It's like something blocked it up where it's finally going bad. So it takes about an hour to fill up, and every other flush will flush right. But I've got another one in the back, so that's the one I use. So I went in there Friday and I told them, I said, can y'all come change that part out? I called them up yesterday. Oh, we're behind on some things. We'll get to you.
What it is probably that float valve in there when the ball goes up and down. It's probably fucking stuck inside there.
It's not the valve. It's actually the whole piece because it's where the water comes through. I got the water turned up all the way on the thing, and it's just like dripping through. So probably some washer in there exploded or something that they're gonna have to just put a new part in.
Yeah, I had to replace.
I could do it in 5 minutes. Give it.
I had to replace the innards of both the toilets in this house when we moved in.
Yeah, so
because Sarah's mom did not get a good inspection on this house when she bought it. There's so much shit wrong with this house.
And my issue is that I have to be here when they come so I can get the dogs in the back, So I'm leaving here in a little bit. I'm gonna call them and say, don't come. If you're coming today, come this afternoon, you know?
Because her mom bought the house when it was on, when the market was at the height about a year and a half ago. And I told her, don't buy a house right now. One, you're going to overpay. And two, people aren't doing anything to fix the houses because guess what? If you don't like the condition of the house, they'll find the next person to get it because that's how fast the houses were selling.
Oh,
They
yeah.
didn't, you know what I'm saying? There was no
So bad.
holding a seller to any kind of accountability of this needs to be fixed before I buy the house or move in.
Yep.
You know, so because they could just skip you and be like, screw you then, and go to the next buyer and they'd have somebody buy it without even looking at it. But what she did, she didn't listen. She went and bought the house, probably I'm sure she overpaid for it by at least 30, 40 grand, like everybody
Wow.
else did at that time. Because that was when a $200,000 house was going for $320,000. You know what I'm
Oh, yeah.
saying? It was ridiculous a year and a half, 2 years ago.
Yeah, I could get a real good house in the area out here for under 200,000.
There was a what was I can't remember the company. It was a big company, and they went into they're one of those companies that advertise all the time and they buy people's houses. I just can't think of the name of the company, but they're a big national company. But they went into a neighborhood in Orlando and they ended up running up the housing prices and everything in these few neighborhoods because they were overpaying people by like their house was
Well, yeah.
estimated to be worth like 250 grand, 300,000. And they were just coming in out of nowhere and be like, we'll give you 600,000 for it. And
Right.
just driving up the prices like crazy. And they ended up getting sued by a bunch of people over it.
Like when I worked in a mortgage company, we were making loans we shouldn't have been making. These people barely could make their ends meet, and we were still making loans.
Oh, you were doing the 2008 ones, the ninja loans? No income, no
Yeah, it was back in the 90s. We were making bad. I worked for Common Point Mortgage, and it was, I mean, I had one guy come in. He had his mother-in-law had died, so they were inherit the daughter was getting a house. His house he stopped making payments on because he was going to sell it. Then he decided he wanted to keep it, and he wanted to keep the house, and he got behind on it, so they were going to foreclose on him. So the guy calls us up and want to know if we can bail him out, help him out with the thing, because we told him almost every loan we can do, you know. And he starts talking to me, and I pull his credit. He's perfect on his car note, and it was something else he was perfect on. But the two main things we look at, he was perfect on. But his house was like 6 months behind, like that, and he wanted to refinance the house. And we looked at what we could do for it, and we could actually do it to help him, like that. And I told him, I said, well, this is what the deal is going to be. And this is, you're talking about sleeping at night. I said, this is how it's going to be. We can help you out here, but because your credit is so bad, he said, we're going to have to charge you 20 points. We charged him 20% up front with the fees that came off the top of it, right? And this guy told us we were a bunch of ripoffs and all of this, cursed us out for 2 or 3 days. Then I said, you got to this date, then they're going to foreclose on you. We can do it for you. So when it was all said and done, he calls back and talks to the manager, and Gray says, let me tell you what you need to do. You need to go to U-Haul and get you a truck because you're going to be moving your shit out your house. Like that. So he told him that. He said, because we can help you, but you don't want to be helped. And he said, Joe's telling you the truth. We're going to charge you because of what you do, because of the way you did it. You're a risk to us. So we're going to charge you 20 points. And he said, once we do that, a year later, come back to us and we'll refinance everything and bring you down to a normal price. And the guy could afford it according to all the money he made. So it was like an hour before we were closing everything out, he called up and said, "Yeah, I'll do it." And he wound up doing it.
Yeah.
But his fees on that house was, I think it was like $2,800. I put in my pocket.
Well, it was like back in the 2008 crisis, they were doing what they called the ninja loans. There was no income, no job verification.
Yeah.
Like the shit they were doing back then was insane with those fucking what was
No
it?
docs. That's what they were. No docs.
Yeah. Oh my God, dude. They were just anybody could just walk in and be like, I want a house, and they're like, okay. But then they didn't.
Shoot, I wish they'd do that right now. If they did that right now with me, because I'm paying $1,200 a month here. I could probably do something cheaper than that. Loki, stop. I'll
Yeah,
be so glad when whoever finishes upstairs.
That was a crazy time, though. Sure.
Yeah, because it used to be where they call up and it was a no doc loan, they'd get a higher fee, meaning in percentages of points. You'd charge them like 4 points more. But you didn't have to verify anything. This is what they said they made. You didn't have to verify
Sign the paper, right?
Yep, basically sign the papers. We'll give it to you.
Well, they
because we
actually
had
are
all the
calling
leverage.
it- there's a different term that the banks are calling it now, but there's actually what was it called? Can't think of the name of it, but they actually are supposedly they renamed the loans they were giving out before 2008, and they've just renamed them, but they're still doing it to a certain extent. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see.
If you know the right person, you can still get one done. Yeah, the person that I would have gone to, the little Oriental girl, she worked with me at Common Point and used to live upstairs from us. And she hated doing paperwork. So she'd get all the stuff done. And then when you had to do all your closing paperwork, it took about 20 minutes to get all your paperwork together and copy it and everything else before you could submit it. And she hated that. And I don't know, she was like a magnet for something. I don't know how she did it, but she was making 3 or 4 loans more than we were a week. She was doing 3 to 4 more a week, and it was just everything. She knew something we didn't know, and she wouldn't tell us how she was doing them.
Wouldn't the banks? So she was able to do it without the banks knowing the people.
No, she had to go through underwriters and everything. All of it had to go through underwriters. But the paperwork, when she got to where she had to do all the final paperwork, she came over to me one day and she said, "How much time do you have?" I said, "What do you mean?" She goes, "You want to do my paperwork?" I said, "Why would I do your paperwork like that?" I said, "You need to know how, she said, "I don't want to spend the time. I'd rather spend the time getting another loan, like that." So that's what she did. So she used to hand me, when she got everything finalized, she'd hand it to me. I'd do her paperwork. She'd hand me $100 bill. And I was making $100 off her loan. And I was doing 4 or 5 a week for her. So that was cool. Bill Gray, the manager, said, she's got to do her paperwork. She says, "I'm putting loans through. I'm giving it. He's got a young family. I'm helping him out. I'm good," like that.
What's Jody talking about? They do if you're Bermsey? What is that?
I don't know. I don't know what that is.
I don't know. They come here and they buy up houses, churches, and new cars and vans.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, they
what
got a lot
Bermsey
of.
is.
Well, a lot of people capitalize on good time, bad times. All they figure it out, and if they're buying whole bunches of properties, right?
Yeah.
Well, after 2008, if you had money, you could have bought a house fucking a quarter of the price of what it was 2 years before that.
Yep. And housing is starting to go down again. So.
Oh yeah, like I said, it wasn't what it was a year and a half ago. Year and a half ago, the housing was at its peak. That's when everybody was thinking there was going to be another housing bubble. because it was just prices kept going up and up and up and up, and that's
Yeah,
usually not a
same
good
thing.
sign.
Yeah, same thing with rent. You know, a year ago, my rent went up $120. You know, and this year it went up $20. You know, so
Oh yeah, dude, rent
that's
went up
why,
here like crazy over the last 4 or 5
yeah,
years.
I'm ready to put the money in something I own now. You know, so
The house that we used to rent 5 or 6 years ago was, I think, 900 a month or 1,000 a month, and now it probably goes for 1,800, 1,900. And that's just in a 4 or 5 year period. It's raised up almost $1,000,
yep,
and again, rent just seems to go up here at $100 every year, $150 on houses. And then the crazy thing is apartments aren't any cheaper. Like,
you're
you know,
right.
there used to be this healthy gap. Like, you could live in an apartment, but you were sacrificing a little bit of privacy, and you didn't really have, you know, a yard or anything like that. So, you know, they were always like a $400 or $500 difference in price of buying renting a 3-bedroom house or renting a 3-bedroom apartment. You always had a nice healthy gap of like $500. You know, but now a 3-bedroom apartment isn't but $100 cheaper than living in a damn house. So it's like you might as well just swing the extra $100 and you can get a house. Like,
Yep.
I don't understand why anybody would want to live in an apartment if it's
Well,
that
how?
little of a difference.
Well, I'm paying, like I said, 12.29. That's with water. And if I were to rent a house around here, it's 1,800 minimum.
But that's what I'm saying. That's a healthy gap between apartments and houses.
Yeah,
But here, it ain't like that. They're literally $150 difference between a 3-bedroom apartment and a 3-bedroom house. They're
Yep.
not much difference. So it's like you might as well just swing the extra $150 and get a house, because the
Yeah.
upside to having a house is you have more advantages having a house. You have more privacy. You potentially have a yard. You don't get bugged by, you know, you don't have to worry about upstairs, downstairs neighbors, all that crap. Because, you know, when you live
Well,
in an
mine
apartment
right now is
complex,
convenience.
well, some of the apartment complexes, you know, especially here in Florida, a lot of them are gated with security and shit. Dude, they're up your ass about everything.
Yeah,
The minute somebody comes in to visit you, they're writing their name down and their license plate. And then if they're not gone out of the complex within like 8 hours, they're coming and looking for them, wondering what they're doing there. You know, all up in your
yeah,
business. Some of these places, like literally, you'll have like a time limit, time you can be there, and then you have to leave, because then you're considered staying the night, and then you have to go get an overnight pass and all that crap. It's just
well, that's
yeah,
bullshit. Because
and
technically,
then
my son isn't even on my lease, but he's here.
but then they have like rules too. Like if somebody was to come visit you, they can't stay more than like a week.
Really?
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Oh yeah. It's
Oh yeah,
apartment complexes around here are strict as hell. That's what I said.
here
That's
it's 48 hours.
So somebody can only stay
Nobody.
there for 48 hours?
Yeah, if somebody's visiting, they can only stay
for
at your
2
apartment for
days.
48 hours there. 2 days.
Yeah,
Wow.
essentially 2 days to visit, and then they have to
But
leave.
they don't really enforce it. About once a month, they put out about 80 emails that have all kind of different rule violations that you can have. But I've never seen anything enforced. The biggest thing is the freaking dogs. The people that walk their dogs around here and don't pick up behind them. That aggravates the hell out of me. You know,
That's
they
like
actually put a dog park on the other end, and that place is like a minefield. I don't even bring
that's
mine
like
over
it.
there because I don't want them to catch anything.
That's like anybody who owns a apartment complex in California, dude. Oh God, I couldn't handle that. Why companies even want to own those in California? Because this is the thing: is like in California, you can have a lease with an apartment complex, saying that you're the resident of that apartment complex. But then if your buddy comes and stays with you for 3 days, only 3 days, and then they try to tell him to leave, the cops will show up and say, well, how long have you been here? 3 days? Well, now he's considered a resident. You can't kick him out.
Yeah.
And then, of course, in California, to take somebody to court to get them evicted, you're talking about a minimum 6-month process. And if they have kids, it could take a year and a half,
Really?
Yep.
because then they can keep
Oh,
going
yeah.
to the court and saying, well, we don't have no place to go. We have kids. They just keep extending it another 2-3 months.
That's
another
how they
2-3
do
months. Here, dude, they put a notice on your door, tell you got 2 weeks. They give you a 15-day notice. Get your shit and get out. They don't play around here. They give you 2 weeks, and that's it. They don't even give you a full 30 days.
Wow.
And here, you don't get squatter rights neither. You break into somebody's house, the cops are gonna come in and arrest
They'll
you. You
shoot
don't
you.
get to just, yeah, you don't get to just stay in the person's house because you broke in while they were on vacation.
Really?
Dude, there's some states people can just break into your house while you're on vacation. They get some mail sent there while you're gone. And because they had mail sent to the address, now they're considered a resident after they just broke into your fucking house while you were gone. Why do you think when I lived in California, if my dad or somebody went on vacation, one of my family members would go on vacation, they would always make sure they had somebody staying at the house while they were gone, like another family member, because you couldn't trust that somebody wouldn't break into your house when you were gone and do the squatter rights bullshit. Oh, hell no.
Speaking-
40.
Hey, Dan, what's up? Speaking of cops, that cop that shot the guy the other night at the parade, they have body cam and video from another bystander that saw it. And the guy, what he did was there was a police unit passing the street, and she was telling him to stop. And he was sitting in the parking lot. He actually jumped the curb of the parking lot, went across the grass into the street, and she was at the very front corner of the vehicle, like she was right here as he came up, like this on this side, as she drove, and she stepped out just enough. So you can see she put her hand on the car, so she was touched by the car, and as she put her hand on the car, she come up and shot him. Right, the vehicle behind said there was no reason for her to shoot because she really wasn't in the way of the vehicle, and he's fighting about it. Why did you shoot him and all of this? The guy said he didn't mean to hit the gas, all of this crap.
Oh, whatever.
But the
you put
police
yourself
chief,
in that.
yeah,
You
the
put
police
yourself in
chief
that
came out and
situation.
said he did not follow a direct order. He did not follow instructions. His vehicle touched her. That's a deadly weapon. She don't have time to press a pause button. She did properly. Like that.
No,
So they're
once you
trying to make it a
don't,
big stink,
once you don't listen to commands the first time, then you forfeited your right to live at that point. Because
But
anything you do
especially
after
if
that,
you lunge towards her with a vehicle, That's like
right? So
it's a deadly weapon.
anything you do after that, that's your own fault.
Yeah.
Plain and simple. Because this is the thing is
I
if
think
you
she did a good
legit
job.
if you legit didn't do anything wrong, the time to fight it is not with the cop. That's when you go to court.
Yep.
Because fighting with the cop ain't gonna do nothing but get you more
You're
charges.
never gonna win. You can't win out. Lord. They're making food right now on TV, right? And it's turkey legs. And they got, oh Lord help me. They got an egg. No, it's butter. It's butter and hot sauce. I mean, Louisiana hot sauce. And it injecting it into this turkey leg, and they're breading it and they're gonna fry it. Well, I
Ooh,
bet you that sucker will wake you up. I mean, it is about as orange as you can get.
yeah, that would be unbelievable. Yeah.
It's got my sinuses working already. Just looking at it.
Well, and I don't like hot stuff. You're used to it, Joe. If it's hot and spicy, no way.
Yeah, I do. Like when I do gumbo, I'll get a cracker, and I'll get the cracker, and I'll put a little bit of the rice with all the stuff on it, and then a couple of drops of hot sauce.
Ugh. God bless you. No, no way.
But I grew up with it,
Oh,
Well, yeah,
same here.
it's all in what you're growing up with. Now, Justin, do you eat hot stuff or?
Yeah, because I grew up in Southern California, so a lot of Mexican food. Yeah. Everything they eat is fucking spicy. Like even their candy has chili powder all over it.
Oh
Wow.
yeah.
I hate Mexican candy. That's one thing I never liked. I think that when it came to their culture, I think that's where they fucked up was with their candy. They did really good with tacos and burritos and all that, but when it came to candy, they really didn't
Yeah,
do
the
a good
candy
job.
messed up.
Their candy is disgusting. Mexican candy is some of the grossest candy ever, just in
Really?
my opinion. Yeah, because like they don't like you'll get a sucker and it's like coated with chili powder, and then they have like I don't know, there's just a lot of their candy has chili powder in it. It's disgusting. Just in my opinion. I mean, there's a lot of people out there that like it, but
I need to find out where this guy makes this. I want one of these. I mean,
I
he
don't like.
put so much hot sauce in there that it's dripping out. And then he's got it battered up. He's got Cajun season covering it. Then it's battered. And I'm thinking he's gonna bake it. Looks like he's gonna bake it. I want to see the finished product, but it looks like it pretty good.
Are they making a lot of noise upstairs? Is that why she's yipping?
Yep. Stop. What they're doing is they're walking around and she's hearing that. I mean, he's hearing that. That's Loki.
No wonder you want to get the hell out of there. Just because they're walking around?
No, they're putting a floor in. They're putting a new floor in.
Oh, they're banging
Because
up
when
there. Okay.
every time somebody moves out now, they're pulling all the carpet and putting hardwoods in. Yeah, they're dragging stuff around up there right now.
Oh, that's one thing that'll fuck your knees up doing carpeting.
Oh, boy, I'm telling you.
One of my uncles did that for years, and his knees are all fucked because of it. Because constantly kicking the little those things for stretching the carpet out
Yeah.
to the edges.
Yeah. I put in when I had the house over Weldon Park, my kitchen, I had put in hardwood floors and everything, and then I developed a leak in the air conditioning unit, and it came into the kitchen, so I had to pull all the kitchen hardwood floor up. And when I pulled it was within a year, I had to pull all that hardwood floor up. And what I did is right where the hallway was, I cut it, and it just yanked everything in the kitchen up. So I said, well, get back to the tile that was under it. and we were going to she said, well, you want to put hardwood floor down again? I said, if it's going to leak again, I don't want to go through this. I said, let's put ceramic tile down. So I went and put 12-inch ceramic tile, 18-inch ceramic tiles in that whole area. And it was the kitchen, God done, it was 12 by 15, maybe. It was 12 by 18. That was the size of the kitchen. That was a big area. And it took me all day to put this ceramic tile down. I woke up the next morning and I couldn't move my hands. My hands were all cramping up, everything. It was like, God damn it. That was the hardest work I ever did in my life. I woke up like
Isn't it harder to get tile up though?
yeah, tile you
I
got to
don't know.
break it. But I
They got those-
what I did is I put a water seal down and put ceramic on top of it.
Yeah, because I've seen YouTube shorts. Those guys are riding on the little machines. It's like a ride-on
Yeah, you gotta-
machine that they sit on, and it just has a scraper on the front of it. It just breaks
Yeah,
the
you got to
tile.
break it up and everything else. Yeah, but I put that ceramic tile down, and I tell you, that ceramic tile was pretty cool. Because I didn't have to worry about water getting on it. Damn it.
The only thing that sucks
Yes,
about
sir.
tile is the grout gets nasty after a while. It's the only thing I don't like about this, because our old house had tile in it, and the grout, like I was always mopping and cleaning, but the grout was like over time, over a couple of years, got really black.
Okay, Johnny's on his way. Let me get out of here.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah,
I will see y'all later today.
I guess we'll see you later today.
All right. Later,
Everybody in the chat, thanks for being here. We'll see all of you again next time. Take care. Bye for now.